So this is part 2 of my blender repair. As you recall, in part 1 I freezed up the rotating blades because they were seized shut with whatever had been in there, and it was causing the motor to lock, and it blew the fuse that ran down to the motor, which I've taken out. And one thing I didn't mention last time is I know the motor works because I plugged it in and very quickly completed the circuit and the motor ran. So I know that's fine. I did have a little hitch today. I found this wire nut rolling around in the bottom. I hadn't seen that before, and that kind of worries me. And then I found this blue wire just kind of hanging there, and I'm not sure what's going on there, but the only thing I can conclude is that it's an unused circuit and it was capped and it eventually worked its way off. So since the motor ran, I'm just going to wing it and put this back on that blue wire and assume there was another circuit or another feature that is not activated. And then I'm going to go ahead and I went to Radio Shack and found some 8 amp fast blow fuses. I went to a hardware store and I almost settled for a slow blow 6 amp fuse because they didn't have 8 amps, but I figured that might not be a great idea. And to save myself soldering, I bought this inline fuse kit which holds the fuse, and maybe I can wire nut those leads to the circuit in here so that I don't have to solder, but it's awful tight, so we're going to give it a try. I can't hold the camera and work at the same time, so I'll check back in a second. That's one side of the inline fuse holder taped in place, and now I'm gonna tape that mystery wire nut down so it doesn't fall off again. Okay, that's secure. Now, one thing I noticed when I was messing around in there is the motor's kind of loose on those mounts. You see that? I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to tighten those down now next. One thing I failed to mention the other day too, is if you're at a party and you find out a fuse is blown and you don't want to hold up the drinking, I might be tempted just to hardwire that once you realized that this was the problem, because chances are it'll still run and you can go home and put a fuse in when you get more time. Although I can't recommend that because you might blow up the entire motor and burn your house down. It might give you an avenue to drinking and keeping that party going. I don't know. She's still loose. Maybe that's intentional. I don't know. There's some plastic sleeves or washers on either side, so I don't know. Who cares? It'll work, and if it doesn't, we're $60 away from a new blender. Well, I really can't get in there to work a wire nut on there or even get the old crimp connection off. But I have this in my kit, this inline crimp splice. I think that'll slip over that old crimp, and then I can put the other side of the inline fuse holder on the other side. So it's a cob job, but it'll do. Fuse goes in there, then I close that fuse holder side, and I will tape and secure and tuck that away, and we'll see how it looks all cleaned up. So now I'm going to carefully slip this shield back over the motor, ensuring that the wires remain on the outside of the shield, and then you won't be able to see much. I'm going to button this thing up, and the next thing we'll do is charge this baby up. Well, here we go. Stand back. Well, on works and pulse works, so I don't know what that missing mysterious blue wire was for. Like I said, it's probably just a dead-ended circuit for some other feature. But that thing runs like a mofo. Alright. Use your blenders. Ciao. Oh!